If you were wondering why the last video was an ATV short, it's because I almost took that train by accident. So now I'm on the right platform on the right train going to Roosevelt Island. So one thing I didn't mention on the Sim 8 trip was the idea of a supersonic budget airline. Now, supersonic planes have been around before, like we could automatically think of the Concorde, and recently there have been some companies that have had ideas for potentially bringing back the supersonic aircraft for passenger service. And there have been some airlines, like United for instance, that have decided to award contracts to potentially have some supersonic planes in their service. Now, the idea of a megabus for airlines may have a greater chance of coming to fruition than a supersonic budget airline. Why is that? Well, from what I know, like the company named Boom that has created some supersonic planes and is actually a subsidiary of the company that I work for, the supersonic plane that they plan to create will already cost a good amount of money enough. But what's even an added expense is the fact that they plan to use sustainable aviation fuel, which is more expensive than the regular kerosene fuel. Now, I'm not saying that it's impossible to maybe one day have a supersonic budget airline, like to have a low-cost flight to go from let's say New York to Tokyo or London in just a matter of hours instead of days. But if one is to try such a venture to have a supersonic budget airline, then I would get one of two things. One, a good investor that would be so willing to fund it for the first few years because it will not turn a profit right away. And probably have someone like, let's say, David Neilman, who was known for starting JetBlue, Breeze, WestJet, and many other airlines, to see what would be the best way to be able to have it go into fruition. But that's just my thought on a supersonic budget airline. What are your thoughts on it? Let me know in the comments.